of the British Academy of Crystal Healing, and this week I'd like to speak to you about Moldavite and how it can bring about total transformation. Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great week and thank you for joining me once again. This week I'd like to speak to you about Moldavite. Oh my goodness, Moldavite. I love Moldavite. It is total transformation. I wear Moldavite in a pendant and it makes me feel safe, at home with myself and really peaceful. Did you know that Moldavite landed on Earth approximately 14 million years ago and created a crater in Germany where they later built the city of Nordlingen? I hope I've said that right because I'm not really sure, but Nordlingen. Anyway, according to calculations, the meteorite was up to 1 kilometer in diameter, so it was a fair size crater that was created. Now, in this collision, the meteorite was shattered and fragmented. Parts of the meteorite, together with terrestrial rock, were thrown out into the atmosphere and landed hundreds of kilometers away in the Czech Republic. Dr. Josef Mayer was a professor in natural history at the Charles University in Prague at the end of the 17th century, and he found Moldavite on the banks of the Moldau River and was the first person to publish about it. Mayer initially thought that this green natural glass was a beryl of volcanic origin. It took centuries before the discovery that this miraculous stone was a product of a meteoritic impact. The exact amount of Moldavite is very difficult to estimate. So if you look at the amount of Moldavite that has been excavated so far, the size of the meteorite and the scattering fields where Moldavite is found, it's estimated that 20 million Moldavites were created on impact with a total weight of 275 to 300 tons, which sounds a lot, but when you consider how many people are into crystals these days, that's actually not a lot. However, the elements, landslides and other geological activities have resulted in a drastic reduction, with much of the Moldavite being destroyed. Therefore, it is difficult to say how much Moldavite actually remains of the original amount today. I know some of my students have been trying to collect Moldavite and are finding it quite difficult to find authentic people to purchase Moldavite from, because there are a lot of people on the internet that are selling fake Moldavite and charging really high amounts for the pleasure of buying one of their fake Moldavite. So really just be careful when you invest in Moldavite, because you need to make sure you're buying from a reputable supplier and that the Moldavite is in fact genuine. Don't be guided by the price and assume because you're paying quite a lot of money that it must be genuine, because there are some very unauthentic people out there. Now, the information that I've just given you was taken from the Barnstein Specialist website. And if you would like to read more about the history of Moldavite or what they have to say, please visit www.thebarnsteinspecialists, and I will post the link in the information for you to follow. But what I want to talk to you today about is basically how my experience of working with Moldavite, and share with you what I gained from the information when I meditated with Moldavite. Moldavite came to me early in my career of communicating with crystals, and my initial reaction to it blew my mind. I had always been a very sensitive soul. In fact, I was classed as an empath, feeling what others feel. And sometimes, in actual fact, I realized it was to my own detriment. When I first started to communicate with Moldavite, I was waiting on in a shop that we had at the time selling crystals, and a lady entered who had just been informed that she had breast cancer. Now, my normal reaction would be to become emotionally involved with her story, but the energy of Moldavite created a totally different reaction within me, which was actually so foreign to me. I didn't initially like it. I felt nothing while she was speaking to me. Absolutely nothing. No sympathy, no compassion, no fear, no sadness, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was like I was empty inside. And my mind recognized this instantly and began to play a story that I was a bad person, that I didn't care what happened to her, that I had somehow learned to believe that if I felt what others people felt and sympathized with them, then it made me a good person. I don't know how I'd fallen into that mindset, but I had. And how wrong was I? Because feeling what they were feeling was actually not good for me. Moldavite was showing me that I can be more helpful to people when I just detach from everything. Moldavite taught me a huge lesson, and I know a lot of empaths that are students with me say, how can I detach? Because it's very difficult sometimes to detach. Well, Moldavite is amazing to help you do this. Moldavite taught me that I am better able to help people when I am emotionally detached from situations, that when I felt what they did, I was damaging myself, inviting that negative, heavy emotion to impact on my well-being. I was feeling on their behalf and not actually benefiting anyone. This is when I started to understand 0-point polarity. 0-point polarity is a state of being in nothingness, no mind, just pure awareness, no emotion, just a void of nothingness where the body can recalibrate itself back to the divine coding. It is a vibrational field that holds peace, harmony, no emotion, no thought, a stillness that affords the body time to reset, recalibrate, and regenerate, finding its way back to maintaining pure healing frequencies, thereby reprogramming the body to a cellular level, incorporating new genetic coding. Now, this may sound a little far out there for some of you, but believe me, I've worked with this 0-point polarity, and it really, really does work. It's like the divine coding can be found in the total stillness and the total peace. I'm going to now continue the podcast sharing with you an experience when I set an intention with Moldavite to gain information for this podcast. Now, I know we all have our own experience of meditation, but the reason I'm documenting this is for those of you who may not get that great a connection with crystals just yet, or for those of you who like to listen to what others receive during meditation to better understand your own experience. So I set my intention for the meditation to speak with Moldavite and create information for this podcast. So here's the meditation. Initially, when I connected to Moldavite, I could feel my awareness was traveling through a vortex of energy. And if you've never experienced this, it's like a tunnel there whereby I am totally still, but the tunnel is traveling past me at speed. My awareness is still, but this feels like a movement, and I'm totally at peace with it and the experience, and I'm totally alone in this tunnel. And it reminds me sort of like when you're traveling on the underground train system, when I would be sat still watching the darkness of the tunnel pass me by. So that's a kind of experience, trying to explain to you what I felt when I first connected with Moldavite. Now, at the end of the vortex in my meditation, or wormhole, portal, whatever name you want to give it, is a bright white light. And I am traveling at speed to that destination. And on reflection, this is often what people say when they leave this world and their physical body. They say that they're traveling towards a light, and that's exactly what happened to me in this meditation with Moldavite, and has happened to me every time I do a meditation with Moldavite. I never feel afraid or that I am not going to return to my body, so I always feel safe when I'm doing it, and I think that's part of the vibration of Moldavite. It helps you feel safe whilst you explore other dimensions. So, as I emerge into the bright light, I am surrounded by beings made of light, not matter. I seem to have entered into a world that is not made of matter, and I am absolutely treated like royalty. These beings of light seem to know what it is like to be in the realm of matter, and that it is far more intense being in the realm of matter. I appear to be, in fact, in a different dimension, sort of like instead of watching a movie in my mind, I'm in the movie in my mind. It's that sort of dramatic, the experience with Moldavite for me. Again, on reflection after meditation, I think on how beings live in water, fish and creatures that don't resemble human life, beings that live in the air, creatures and insects that live in the air. And, then we have insects and creepy crawlers that live in the earth. So why shouldn't there be life in light or fire? Using the concept that maybe life is happening in all of the elements. And this is just my ability now to be able to connect to the life that lives in the light. I wonder if this is a new dimension that's opening for all of us human beings to interact with. So getting back to the light beings, they explained to me that there is a cycle that we are involved in, that we came out of the water, which is the womb of Mother Earth. And if you think that the earth is mainly made from water, that we have come through the awareness of water into the awareness of air, and we are currently going into the awareness of light. Interesting. Water is an emotional era, air is a mental era, and light is an illuminous era. Well, that would sort of make sense because a lot of us are becoming more enlightened at the moment, aren't we? So to fully understand the awareness of light, the light era, we need to activate our luminous bodies. And to do this, we have to release attachment to everything and become transparent, to become the witness of everything, that everything just travels through us. We attach ourselves to nothing. Emotions, thoughts, experiences, all just pass through us. We experience them in the moment, and then we move on carrying nothing with us, becoming transparent like light. Wow. Okay, so Moldavite was speaking of how to do this. We need to relax the mind and let go of fear-based thoughts, become more aligned with the now. When I am in this altered awareness with Moldavite, the light beings become so real that I almost forget what it's like to be in the realm of matter, the physical plane. So I remembered this time to ask the beings of light to tell me, how can you help us in the physical reality dimension? And I remember snorkeling in the water and losing full awareness of the physical world when I was in the water and becoming totally engrossed in the world of the water. And this was seemingly what was happening when I was communicating with these beings of light. I sort of lost my sense of the physical world. And Moldavite reminded me that Moldavite mainly is a teacher of detachment, mental and emotional. It helps us to see the bigger picture, become limitless with our minds, more relaxed in our body, and more fluid in our emotions. Connecting to Moldavite will without doubt take your awareness off the physical realm. It will help you open your mind to other dimensions, teach you about the power of symbols and signs, and connect you to your heart. You cannot connect to your heart if you are stuck in your mind. So the first port of call must be to learn how to empty the mind, witnessing the mind from a higher perspective and finding the peace which will help us to drop our awareness into our heart. Moldavite wants us to know that there are advanced levels of awareness within the universe that are monitoring our progress, that UFOs and other forms of intelligence are monitoring the progress of Earth. And of course, we're on Earth, so they're monitoring the progress of us as well as being part of the Earth realm. Moldavite said that everything on Earth is exactly where it should be at this moment in time, that the band of energy the Earth is traveling through at this time in the cosmos is conducive to many souls having the experiences that they need, that there is no wrong on the earth, because us human beings don't sort of, we make assumptions that things aren't right. Oh, that's not right. This isn't right. Well, basically, the Moldavite is explaining that everything is right. The vibration that's here is perfect and serving the earth to its highest good. And it said that the earth is like a ship traveling through the oceans of the cosmos, and we are just passengers that are traveling on this vehicle that is bound towards the sun consciousness. However, our vehicle is actually a living entity herself. Moldavite brings forth an expansion of the mind. It aids limitless perception. It will purify you and protect your heart. It will keep your auric field clean, strengthen your aura. It will focus your mind, enable you to detach, bring comprehension, wisdom, truth, develop your psychic powers, re-empower you, regenerate cells, remove dis-ease from you and your body. It helps you to become more present and teach you about time. If you go into a meditation with Moldavite, you can learn more about time. You can connect to all living life forms through connecting to Moldavite. Enhance your hearing, clean all your chakras, reprogram your mind, and improve your luminosity, the ability to be seen, reconnect you to the reason you are here, enhance your intuition, strengthen and focus your mind, and connect you to the oversoul of this planet. So no wonder Moldavite is in big demand, because it has so much to offer us. And many of us that are called to do this work, that working with crystals, is because we are empaths. We can feel. Now, sometimes feeling is great, but we can overfeel and not manage to let go of those feelings. So Moldavite really, really can help us. And Moldavite reminds us that it all starts with peace. And that peace then will take us into love, which is deeper within us. The peace in the mind will help us drop into the love of the moment, because the mind isn't taking us away from the joy of the moment. So a journey to wholeness really does start by finding mental peace. So the Moldavite said, do everything you can to connect to your own internal peace, and then love starts to develop within you. You begin to blossom like a rose, and then that love emanates from you into the collective consciousness, having a positive effect on all life forms on the planet. So I sort of asked about truth, that the Moldavite hasn't actually mentioned truth. It's mentioned peace and love, but not truth. And Moldavite said, truth is an illusion based upon perception of life. Peace is what you are looking for. Truth is a connection to your own inner child and a tool to help you follow your intuition for the persona that you have embodied. So truth is going to be individual to everybody, whereas peace is universal. That's what everybody needs, is peace. But truth, there is no one truth. There is one peace, but there is many, many different versions of truth based on the persona, the personality, and your reason for being here is all going to be unique to you. You are but a single droplet in an ocean of energy, is what Moldavite said. You are eternal. And we tend to forget that we are eternal when we're in human form. Life is an illusion. The reality is you never die. You are energy and it cannot be destroyed. Whilst in this vehicle of the body, though, it is extremely important to take good care of your body and not get lost in the world around of you. You and your body are the most important thing in your life here on this planet. Awareness is energy. And if you focus on yourself with your awareness, you will boost your energy. Keep in touch with your needs, your individuality, your creativity, and watch then as your luminosity, your joy, that's what makes you shine shines out into the world and you become seen for the extraordinary being that you are and your uniqueness. See that the earth is a playground for you to experience these beautiful vibrations. Yes, rightly so, there are other experiences that can be had and there are other vibrations here. But if you protect your precious mind, look after your precious body, and be vigilant of your emotional interaction, you will maintain the purer, more beautiful vibrations that can be accessed here on earth. So, it all begins by taking the mind into peace, learning how to sit there, witness your mind, and bring everything into stillness. And then you will transcend. You will transform into a butterfly and begin the freedom from the diseased mind that you rightly deserve. This will be massively transforming for you. This is what Moldavite was saying to me, and these channelings are done through meditation. And if you would like to know some more about the channelings that we do or the classes that we do, or if you want to join us and or even buy a recording of the classes, because we do appreciate not everybody has the same time as we do and your time scale sometimes can alter, but we do sell the classes as recordings. So if you want a recording of one of the Saturdays drop-in classes, then please just send us a purchase the class through the website, and then we will forward the recording to you to be able to do at your own convenience. So, there's a lot there to think about, and obviously Moldavite is a huge benefit to the earth at this time. So if you have some, we don't actually stock any at the moment. We have some pendants with Moldavite in, which are amazing. But, hopefully if you put out a call to Moldavite, Moldavite will make its way to you through your heart. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you've gleaned something from the experience. And I'd like to send love and peace and out into the world from inside my own personal vehicle of love. Maintaining 0-point polarity, that detachment from emotional interaction, and just sending the energy of compassion and love out there to enable harmony and love to return to this incredible planet that at the moment I call my home. Travel safely, crystal lovers. Until next time, this is Jackie Winters, sending you love and gratitude for joining me from the British Academy of Crystal Healing. If you want to know any more about our classes, please take a look on our website, www.britishacademyofcrystalhealing.co.uk. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.